titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We coming for you, nigga. Fat! Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool. You!
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
That's right, Dr. Huge Show. Once again, late September. Shout out to the Sleaze over here.
Hi, I'm here.
Everybody knows the Sleaze.
Yes.
Yep.
Infamous.
Everybody knows Dr. Huge. We're not new at this, folks. We've been doing this for a little bit. So get liking, get subscribing, tell everybody about this show. Even your grandmas. You'd be surprised how many grandmas like this show. How many grandmas hit the link on this. Gilfs, right? Sleaze. That's what they call them.
Yeah, Mama Sleaze loves it. She's a grandmother.
Mm-hmm. You saying she's a gilf?
Yeah, maybe to some people. Maybe.
Whoa, maybe. Maybe.
Could be. It's a weird kink.
Anyway, hit the links, everybody. You know what to do. You kids know how to use these QR codes these days, so do it. We got a lot of stuff in store for you today. You know, of course, the normal wrestling news talk. Like, we can't even really call it wrestling talk anymore because we're not getting into it that deep anymore because it's, first of all, it's boring, and second of all, there's 1,000 million hours of it, so that's stupid. Shout out to HVAC North, face blue smiley. I love that. That's my favorite one because it's right on top. It looks like it's screaming whatever you say. So in the Dabbleverse, especially, I mean, that's really the only chats I'm in these days. MLC, Stutter and John show. He timed me out yesterday, Sleaze, Stutter and John, out of his chat.
Why? What's his problem?
My guess is he's only done it one other time, but I think this time it was for using caps.
Using caps?
He doesn't want people using caps.
That's petty.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And I had to. He said, I texted it at you to Vince the lawyer there.
Oh.
And I wrote it in nice big caps so everybody could see it like this, like Paladin. Like, should I ban him now? Should I time him out? That's what the pros do.
If you want to call him a pro, yeah.
Well, you wrote yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Cat. That was a cat.
Thought it was a UFO for a second.
It's a wild cat across the camera.
Yep. So much Dabbleverse talk. People in, our usual crowd is going to be like, what Dabbleverse stuff? I don't want to hear it. You want to hear it. You're going to want to see these clips I got prepared. We got New Jersey Ranger coming in about an hour or so. Danny Damage, possibly. Daniel Damage that you may know of. Everybody from the UK. But, he's on it's like nighttime over there. So,
yeah. Plus, he's got babies running around, breaking stuff, crapping their pants.
He could come on and a baby could walk right across the screen like his cat.
Yeah. That'd be nuts.
Anyway, if you're here for the wrestling, we got some wrestling talk. A few, notes here and there, things we can goof on. Of course, everybody knows if you've been watching this show, I'm backing off the WWE. I got this brand new light and everything. I'm such a corporate guy these days, and they're still making me kind of back away from all this because it's all cookie cutter. It's kind of boring. There's a lot of it, and they are upping the price on tickets, on your streaming services. So I don't want none of that. This stinks. Why is the WWE so bad? Is it all Triple H's fault? All Nick Khan's fault? Both?
I think it's strictly TKO. They're in the red, and they're trying to get out of the red. So they said they're going to hike the prices again on top of the crap they have now. You won't see me at a live event. I think I'm retired from live events at this point. Besides the indie stuff that I went to, that it was better product, to be honest, for like $15.
It's just this wrestling business, man. I'm guessing pretty soon that there's going to be a backlash to this. And I think some of the newcomers and the rich people, they'll get tired of spending all this money.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to actually make good stories and all that business. But for now, they're just pumping it out. Oh, they'll buy anything. Just keep pumping them out. So the stupid shows, even some of these shows are really good, but they're buried in with all this other horse shit. So we don't really recognize it as good anymore. AEW had All Out last weekend because, of course, those two promotions, WWE and AEW, are at war still, and they're booking all kinds of big shows on the same day. I'm just glad I didn't fall for this trap, Sleaze. I knew that this was horse shit. They just came up with a PLE out of nowhere and go, yeah, it's as big as WrestleMania in a month.
Yeah. As big as WrestleMania. It wasn't even close. I'd give it a score of a maybe C+. It was just very cookie cutter, like you say all the time. Very cookie cutter. I mean, the intergender match was fun. The Cena Brock Lesnar thing was everything you wanted. It was just beating the piss out of each other. Other than that, it was lackluster.
I'm just sad because I'm a clip guy too now, Paladin. He watches SmackDown on Twitter from the clips.
Yeah.
That's all I'm really doing these days.
I haven't watched a full SmackDown in probably a year, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's just clips. You can get everything you need without all the commercials. And we're going to Saudi Arabia 15 times during the show and all that crap.
This keeps fooling me. This Crown Jewel's actually in Australia.
Yeah. I thought that was a Saudi thing.
Me too.
So, yeah.
Yep. And also this WrestlePalooza, yeah, it was a big dud. Even ESPN, who just like bought the rights to that pile of horse shit, said, yeah, it was a C at best, which it was probably worse than that.
Mm-hmm.
John Cena getting squashed, which I kind of called it. I didn't call it a squashing, but I figured he was going to lose that match because it didn't make any sense anyway. Why are those two even wrestling each other? He just comes back out of nowhere. Same as Cody Rhodes before that. It's like there's no thought into this. They're just like, here's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So he comes.
One of the biggest mistakes, too, not to cut you off, but was they had Cody Rhodes at the end of the show. You had all these other major stars and major matches that were before. Like, they should have put that intergender match last because everybody was done after that. The Cody Rhodes match was like a total dud.
Yeah, I wasn't about to pay $30 to watch an intergender match, to watch Brock Lesnar beat up John Cena, and what was the other, Cody and Drew McIntyre?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they were saying that the best match of the night was the Io Sky and Stephanie Vercurra one. And that started so painfully slow that it took a good 70% of the match for it to actually pick up. The end of the match was great. And then they backtracked saying that Stephanie was sick and all this stuff. But I don't know how that affected the fact that the first 2/3 of the match was so slow. And then she picked it up like miraculously. It was pretty bad.
But in the year 2025, after like 15 years of paying $10 a month to watch pay-per-views, you just spent $30 and you got that.
Yeah.
And it shows me, is that really going to change in the future? Like, I'm expecting a lot of these shows to be piss poor. WrestleMania was terrible this year.
Yeah.
So it's all going to be bad, I guess. And I'm not paying for it.
I was actually one of the few that when I saw online they gave it a bad review, I was like, good, because somebody needs to, besides Dave Meltzer. You know, I was glad that ESPN said, we just gave you a bunch of money and this is what you gave us. You know, like ESPN is backtracking a little bit saying, well, it was just one reporter and it wasn't the company, but it should have been. They should have said, this is what you had for us.
Triple H, I know the money's all good and stuff right now, but this thing's going to be coming crashing down sooner or later, they can't maintain this forever and keep milking everybody and have them accept it for this long. I don't know how people are doing it. How the fuck are people out here just paying for like $1,000, $2,000 seats for pro wrestling? Like, it is not professional sports, okay?
No.
I understand how that's valued more. But you're talking about pro wrestling. You're going into thousands and thousands and thousands, and you say you're a PG company at the same time. So, like, where are the families at? They're still there, but they must be really rich.
Yeah. Well, I forgot if it was somebody in TKO or Nick Khan or whatever. They said they want to get the ticket prices on par with UFC. Now, UFC is a whole different animal, even when it comes to like the frequencies of the shows. You know what I mean? They'll have like an event every, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but they'll have an event every 2-3 months maybe. I can see paying a lot of money for those tickets because you don't get to see it 2-3 times a week like you do WWE. So you can't have that mentality in your business sense, because a lot of people are getting sick of it because they're like, if I go to a Raw and the PLE before, it's costing me thousands and thousands of dollars, and then the next month they expect you to do it again. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's a whole different thing.
Well, they're cleaning up right now. They're still making a ton of money. I mean,
Yeah.
to even keep talking about, now we're going to keep raising it and keep raising it. But maybe it's because they're going into new territories all over the world and everything too. And the amount of money they're going to get from, different countries now being invested in this. Is this really for us anymore?
No.
I've been hanging on for years. Of course, the end of the Vince era, the last 10 years I was keeping up with anyway, it wasn't very good, overall. But you would always get gems thrown in there. I'm not seeing a whole lot of gems being thrown at us. It seems just like it's better than what the bad Vince stuff, but it's just above that, which is like mediocre. So everything is just kind of mediocre, and the storytelling and everything else is just like, all right. Do more stuff outside the ring. If you're going to go full TV, I mean, every week these guys are bringing up the fact that this is fake. Right? In the ring, quite literally. I think Paul Heyman did it this week. I feel like Cody Rhodes or somebody else did it like a week before.
Randy Orton.
They're breaking the fourth wall like every fucking week now. They're talking about Unreal backstage and everything. Like, come on, guys. I don't even watch that on purpose because I'm actually like a wrestling fan. I want to watch. Why would I want to see behind the scenes stuff before the show even starts? Think about this for any show or any movie that you like. You want spoilers and everything before?
Yeah, right.
And that's I'm watching catching up on the news angle on all this pro wrestling talk, right? And I'm finding out all kinds of things, and I have been for months, where it's like Braun Breaker and Brock Lesnar, they want that for WrestleMania 42, and it's probably going to happen. Here's how they're going to get there, and blah blah. Why are they telling me?
Yeah. WWE needs to find the people that are saying these things and the people that are leaking stupid shit to like Dave Meltzer and fire them. Like, it really needs to pull the curtain closed again. Like, it's really spoiling everything. Because I saw that too, and I'm like, great. So now I know that they're gonna fight each other at WrestleMania. Great. So nothing's a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything is laid out for you. A day or two before for Raw. So you're like, okay, so I know that Cody's going to come out first, and then these two people are going to wrestle, and then this person has an angle. And let me be surprised. Back in the Attitude Era, they didn't do that. When you turn the show on, you didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. So when like a Stone Cold came out and cut a promo, that's why everyone was like, yay, because we didn't know this was coming. Now you know everything is coming.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
And even like the results of the matches, like that intergender match. So I'm going to go get this $30 pay-per-view for Brock Lesnar, who I've seen my entire life, and AJ Lee, who I could give two shits about coming back. I know it's a nostalgia hit for like the 20-somethings or whatever, but I don't give a fuck about AJ Lee. And then she's going to wrestle with her husband. And then they're going to so Seth Rollins kind of a douche, right? Even though I like him as a wrestler and everything. Becky Lynch, douche. And then they're going to fight. To me, looks like two more douches. Yeah. So it's like, it's just crazy to me. I'm like, I don't care about this. But I understand why other people did. The Lesnar stuff was probably more geared towards me, like, no, you can watch this too. But against John Cena, when he's like 80 years old and Brock Lesnar still looks like he's in his prime. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just too easy to figure this stuff out. And of course, CM Punk and AJ Lee won that against the two people that had the belts, because why would they win, right? And they have everything. It's just
that was a perfect time for everyone expected AJ and Punk to win, and they shouldn't have. That would have made good TV, is if they lost, because the whole ride up, you knew every step of the way, no matter what Seth said or Becky did or blah, 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 that they were going to lose. So why are you invested in that match?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they should have had Seth go over.
I was thinking about this months ago. I actually wrote it down, never got to it in my show notes, but I had a whole angle thought up. Now, don't go stealing this, WWE. I know you'll want to, but it's one of those line blurring things, which they don't do anymore. But they would need to do something like this. Have a wrestler. I don't name a wrestler, right? But here's the angle on this. So this wrestler goes into a match with another big name wrestler, pins them within like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
Hits them with a certain move, whatever, seems to have rung their bell, whatever. And then you get the pin. Everybody's like, what the fuck? We're like, what? Because it's real, right?
Yeah.
And then that speculation will start happening. Like, maybe that was real, maybe, blah, blah, blah. You play off of that, get a rivalry going between the two guys or whatever. No time involvement. It's just, the timing is just because we know every single match. That's why people are calling it a performance now. I even call it a performance. That's what it is. You're doing a dance. It's so obvious. They taking breaks at certain spots that if you watch for a couple of years, you got it down. You're like, oh, somebody got tossed out of the ring, time to make a sandwich or go to the bathroom or whatever. So with this angle, you actually not a schoolboy roll up or no horseshit like that. Like an actual, you're just doing a move, boom, pin them. Everybody's like, what's going on? And you just play off of that for the future, do some more matches like that. Maybe it's 7 minutes in, maybe it's 10 minutes in, but it's not going to be on the timeline of what you think. Maybe you come back from commercial and the shit's already done for. Would it make some people angry? Sure. But then it would also give you incentive to go to the shows.
Yeah. Or, want to know what comes next. Like the Lesnar match was pretty quick, but it should have been quicker. He should have jumped in, beat the piss out of Cena, F5 pin. That's it. Walked out. That's it. They even dragged that out where it was like, okay, that should have been a total squash.
I didn't even see the match, but I heard about it and people were bored with it. And of course, because we've all seen the routine before. Come on, guys. You even got the WWE Network stuff out there still, like on Peacock and whatnot. People can go back and watch these matches, and kids and younger people, and go, oh, yeah, and then they see it again the next week. Like, stop doing shit over and over. That's not how you do things. Get liking and subscribing.
Do it!
Yeah, hurry up.
God, I don't have all day.
So anyway, that was one of my main rants about all this, but I think that would be a great idea because but they would never do that. Because they think that would hurt their bottom line, and it could at first, but I think it would bring in more interest because it'd be like, what's going on? And then you could even do a whole Unreal bit about it and be like, there's some writers trying to do this and other writers trying to do that. There's mixed messages in the ring. There's some beefs going on, some real life beefs going on between these wrestlers. That's what you need. I don't want to know these real people's names on these devices, on their social medias. And tell your wrestlers you are fucking Liv Morgan. Guess what, Liv Morgan? You're Liv Morgan. That's it. Yeah. Real life, fake life, you're Liv Morgan. Deal with it. And then if you have beefs with somebody, you can conjure something up with somebody else. That's what old wrestling was all about, to sell tickets. Now they're just selling tickets. Why? Because it's just the thing to do?
Because you have the names. That's what it is. They just say John Cena, and then that's the end of it. That's exactly what it is. They say AJ Lee after 10 years. That's the end of it. The writers go cookie cutter, pin, kick out, pin, kick out, pin. That's it. That's the whole formula. You know what I thought of the other day? As much as people will talk shit about Vince and blah, 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 one thing that he wasn't afraid of, and it was pissing the audience off. In this day and age, they are so afraid to piss the audience off for some godly reason, which causes the same thing as if you make them happy. You know what I mean? If they would have just done the thing with Lesnar where he comes out, he looks like a brick shithouse, Cena looks fucking old, and he just beats him in 2 seconds. Piss the audience off. Then they hate Brock more, but they want to see him more because they hate him so much. Jesus, what is wrong with them?
I'm coming for you, motherfucker!
Exactly.
Fucking right, and then he finishes you.
Like, why is he doing that in UFC? Oh, I get it. You're still got a PG thing going on, right? Even though Jade was busted open last night, which goes into everything I'm talking about. Like, I get it. I've been liking Nia Jax ever since her return. They don't use her all that often, really. She just appears for months on end. She came out last night, and boy, did she put up a stinker. I heard she busted open Jade. Didn't actually see. I was turning.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, and she was screaming with blood all in her face, and I'm like, ooh, I don't think that's supposed to be happening on SmackDown. And then she gets in the ring. Jade does a move to Nia. She kicks out of that. Tiffany comes over, tries to steal the pin, and she's supposed to kick out of that. The three happens. She's still laying there. Then she literally turns to the ref, and they're like talking, like, and then because the ref didn't hit the three, and Michael Cole, very smart, he was on his toes, and he goes, "It's 2 count." You know, he's just mind manipulation of the children. They were probably like, "I don't understand what's going on," or but Michael Cole said 2, so. And then, the match ends. One more move from Tiffy time, the end. So I'm just thinking to myself again, I'm paying more for this.
Yeah. And I had to watch it a couple of times because I was trying to see what Nia said. And I'm pretty sure she said, "Was I supposed to kick out?"
Yeah. Well, you don't ask at that spot.
Yeah, like blatantly, she's not covering her face or anything. Like after she said something, but rolled over and covered her face with her hair. But blatantly, when it happened, she was like, "Was I supposed to kick out?"
Oh, amazing. It's amazing. And
that's worth
go ahead.
That's worth like the $8,000 front row seat to WrestlePalooza. Okay.
Mac Diesel says live show prices have gotten ridiculous. My children are obsessed, and we go, but it costs the equivalent of a 2011 Subaru to sit within the first 10 rows.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, it came to Providence at the Amica Center, and I wanted to go. And then I had asked my brother, who has my 2 young nephews, I'm like, "Hey, do you want to go to this?" And he goes, "Oh, check on prices." In the nosebleed, it was like $84 a piece. And like way the fuck up in the ceiling, $84.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not doing that. Nope.
I heard the average. I was asking AI. This AI can be tricky. I don't just go, "Oh yeah, whatever you say." But I think they were saying it hovers around 150 for an average ticket these days.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I think is up almost 50 to like $70. Like everything else, though, everything's like doubled or a little more than doubled.
It's gross.
It's crazy. People are like, "Hey, let's go out and let's do this and let's do." I'm like, that's gonna cost like $500.
Yeah, that's why I don't go out. Yeah. The moment you step out of your house, you're spending $100.
I gotta pay gas and go to this place, and then pay $100 for dinner and $100 for drinks and $100 for entry fees and to do the stuff. And shit, man. That's why I'm watching this random video just came across on my feed one day this week, and it was about Las Vegas and how everybody's leaving Las Vegas. Nobody, or not even coming back. So they're like, "This place is dead." On a Sunday at 4:00, this guy was going into multiple casinos, and it was dead. He's like, "Look in here. There's nobody here." He's like, "This is 4:00 on the weekend." And because everything's overpriced. They got all these fees and things. And it made me think, I'm like, of course WrestleMania is going back there again. Because Las Vegas, TKO, all the money people, you know, at the tippity top. It's like Las Vegas has become like their Disneyland now for adults. And sure, you could always say it was like that and it was always expensive, but now they're really pricing people out.
Oh yeah, businesses are starting to leave because they can't afford to be there.
Mhm.
You know, and that's why Vegas wants WrestleMania so bad. They want the tourism money because they're not getting it the rest of the year because nobody. I've never been to Vegas, and I sure the hell ain't going now
Mm-hmm.
unless I take a fucking loan out. Like that's ridiculous.
I'm glad I went when I did. And I still managed, because I'm a cheapskate anyway, but I managed to get out of there and still have money and everything like that. But, you know, yeah, now just the hotel fees alone, it's just so obnoxious.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
You get like $100 room or something for a night, and they're like, no, it's 170 fees. And what are the fees? It's like nothing. And then they want you to you got to pay to have a refrigerator. You got to pay to, if you touch anything in the room, even by accident, they want you to pay. It's like everything's like a big scam and give me money in Las Vegas. So yeah, I'm not going to WrestleMania again next year. And usually I don't know this early, not like I ever go to WrestleManias, but I do think about it sometimes. I'm like, I should probably go to this, get involved in some of the what's happening in the indies and things during those weekends. I'm not going to Las Vegas. It's fucking like $80 for a pizza. It's like going to Disney World. It's a city that's like Disney World.
Yeah. So Disney World is seeing a decline too. All these places, and that's why if WWE keeps price gouging and all that, you're gonna start seeing a decline. They're not going to hold this. They went a couple of weeks ago saying, yeah, we're doing it now until our debt's paid off, and then we'll go back to, like, I guess, normal pricing. And then they just last week came out and said, oh, no, we're jacking the prices up more. So they're going to drain this company of its audience and then sell it just so they can get out of debt. I can see it coming. It's
Disney, man. That too. Getting involved with Disney just makes it so much worse. Because I knew it. I knew not to deal with this Dabblepaloozah horse shit. And man, I saved a lot of time. I think I was playing Tekken or something instead. So good.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it. I have ESPN, so I did watch it. But afterwards, I was like, okay, so it had moments. It did 2 matches out of the 6 that they had were good. If I had to pay $30 for that, I would have been pissed.
And Mac Diesel again. My brother and I went to numerous shows between 2015, 2019, sat ringside many times. Now it is literally thousands to sit ringside.
Yeah, gross.
I was going to some shows around that time too, and anytime I got close, there was a Raw I got to second row, and it was not that much. It wasn't $1,000 or whatever. Yeah, that's stupid.
What'd we go? I think it was like 2018, something like that.
It was the leukemia night for Roman Reigns, and
but I don't. Maybe we paid $100 a seat.
I know mine were like $230 around there. Because I was in the lower loge middle. I was right.
Oh yeah, you were down, right? But
those are the seats you want, because it's not front row, but it's elevated, so you're like up with the ring, like level with the ring, and you're level with the cameras. So if you're a Dr. Huge or something, you wear a shirt or whatever, you can be like this all night, like I was. You could touch Dean Ambrose very randomly. I had no idea that was going to happen either. Ambrose and Rollins comes down the the yeet side, and I had to push a kid over there. Like he was he was by himself too. Very suspect, but he was like very like, I'm thinking he's just maybe just typical, wrestling nerd or whatever. But when they started coming down, I'm like, come on, this is our time. And I pushed him. I didn't talk to him the whole night except for that one time. I just go, we're doing this, so I pushed him all the way down to the end so we could like be in the camera frame with them walking down and everything. It's pretty funny.
But you were that close and had that experience for like around $200.
Mhm.
And what they're saying now is that we'll put you in the nosebleeds where you have to strictly watch the screens because everybody looks like ants.
Mhm.
But we're going to charge you around $100 for those seats.
Yep.
Okay.
And hey, man, I was in the nosebleeds all through the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
I went to a ton of shows in the Attitude Era every time they came around because it would be like, what, 50 to 70 bucks again, in the nosebleeds, it was a lot then. But you got to remember the Attitude Era, people wanted to go.
Right.
You wanted to be there. So it wasn't like you weren't. Now you're paying 50, 70 bucks for the nosebleeds for what? For the same shit every week, so I don't know. It's just what a time back then, because even watching them as little ants was so exciting compared to what it is now.
Yeah, it was the atmosphere and everything. It wasn't people just, singing theme songs and then sitting down and being quiet as fuck. It was a party.
Oh, the chants. That friggin' UK chant they're doing for everybody now. They did it last night for Cody Rhodes, I believe it was. Woo, that's
tiresome.
It's the shits.
It's
obnoxious.
I'm over it. I am over the fucking singing with the songs, the drawn out fucking entrances. Remember back in the day, the only problem you had with an entrance was the Undertaker's, because it took 75 minutes for him to actually get the lights back on and take his hat off. Yep. But now it's like everybody's got a fucking Undertaker entrance that just doesn't end. And when you want Jay to end, now he's doing this crap. So you're like, Jesus Christ, I just watched this for 20 fucking minutes.
I love that they know that he's a bad promo. So he'll come out, be yeeting, 20 minutes of yeeting, and then he gets in the ring and he goes, oh, do you want some more?
Yes.
And I'm at home like, no, don't do it again. And then they're like, cut the commercial or something.
Yeah.
They come back and he's sitting there like you looking like he's gonna cry all the time, going, and then Paul Heyman comes out or somebody saves him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's good they put him back with Jimmy because Jimmy actually talks a lot better. So I've been good with that because then you just have him on the side just yeeting and doing whatever the hell he's doing. But
weird. Jimmy's the cool guy. He's been the cool guy like this whole time.
Right.
Definitely ain't this. Even though his brother's involved in it now, I get it.
I get it too. But I always preferred Jimmy. I always did. I thought he was the stronger one. So I didn't have big expectations when they put Jay by himself because I'm like, he could never really talk on the mic. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And Paladin's starting to watch Killer Cross on Thriller TV way cheaper than ESPN. Man, I can't get all this stuff.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. Get this stuff. This is free. Subscribe right now. Hit all the buttons. Let's go, everybody. I know you do, Paladin. You're a nice soldier out here. Good man. Right?
Yes.
You need all these other good men to stand up for the Dr. Huge show against all these fucking Pat McAfees and all these, shits out here. They're the shits. This is actually good.
Paladin's like the fifth Beatle to our show.
Ribshot in the house. I went and looked at some of your videos, Ribshot, because I noticed you started coming into the chat every once in a while, and I'm like, well, I got to see what this Ribshot's all about. What does he got going on? You got animations over there, and they were pretty good. They were funny. And
he's got good shit. I checked him out too. Good shit.
The songs were unique to the UK, got carried on and butchered in America. It's true. I mean, well, it's too much of it, right? Like, how often are we in the UK? So, of course, I can be perturbed by it and annoyed by it for a little bit, but I don't have to hear it every week. Now I'm hearing it every week. Crazy.
Remember when the Americans were the trendsetters?
Yep. Remember?
Guess not.
I don't know if we ever really were. I don't know. Like,
well, everybody followed us, and now we're following. Yeah. Well, yeah.
The Prodigy, which is my Beatles.
Yeah.
And who else? The guy that married Madonna and the soccer player, David Beckham. Come on. You're killing it over there.
Yeah.
See? We're lads now. Of course. Everybody go check out Ribshot's video. They're good. Just like our videos over here. We got some new promo edits and things. Some more foolishness. I don't want to hear people saying it doesn't make sense. It makes complete sense. Watch it again.
Absolute sense. Everything we do makes sense. Everything out there doesn't make sense.
I kind of can't wait to talk about this guy. We're going to be talking about this guy in a little bit. The king of the Dabbleverse. If you're waiting for that, just wait a little longer. Hang through it. Only a little more wrestling talk coming at you. We're slowing down with it, people. We are talking about bigger and better things out here than this shit. Come on, Triple H, bro.
You know, just when I think that I have the worst tattoos, I just saw Stuttering John's. So,
and it's a fresh one too.
Yeah, he chose that. I can say some of mine were when I was young and maybe drunk. So,
how about this story? So we all know there are a lot of stinky wrestling fans, but I mean, there was a story this past weekend from AEW All Out. Is this a real story, Sleaze? Did you see the same thing I saw where two people had to change seats? They wrote about it online, and they said they went into an obscured view area way further up because the main section that they went to, they said it stunk so bad that they couldn't even take it. And the guy was like, I'm okay with dealing with smells. My wife or girlfriend isn't. And he goes, I couldn't even take it. And we both had to like try to get our seats changed because it smelled like shit.
It's the shits.
And everything else you can imagine. He was explaining it all on I don't know, some message board or something, which always makes me think like, is this real? You know, but why wouldn't it be? I've seen the seats at some of these shows. You know, they leave a skid mark. How are you leaving skid marks?
What the fuck?
Are you naked?
Oh, God.
Yep.
Here's a funny story. So I went into the store the other day, just trying to get cigarettes. And this guy, he looked greasy as fuck. He came in after me, looked greasy as fuck, saw him get out of his car. So he went up to the counter first. I'm behind him. I smelled what I can equate to a dirty vagina that somebody squatted over and took a dump into. I don't even know how that smell was possible. And the first thing in my mind was, is this what AEW fucking fan base smells like? It was the most putrid smell. And it was prominent vagina and then mixed in with like raccoon hair and feces. It was pungent. I had to fucking hold my breath. Pungent.
I just can't imagine. In this day and age where everybody's got soap, we got showers and things, and you're going to go out in public and you're going to smell like this. Remember, there was a female pro wrestler in the indies that was doing conventions, and she had to put out a whole statement like, how are you leaving the house and not even putting deodorant on?
Yeah.
Put some deodorant on, clean yourself up, and then you want to like hug me in pictures.
Yeah. And smear that shit all over me.
Insane. So
you motherfuckers are gross. And it seems mostly that fan base is AEW that you're getting the complaints. It's not like people are going to Dabblepaloozah and saying, oh my God, the whole area just stunk. Can you imagine it stunk so bad that you said, fuck this, and I got a worse seat? You know, I can't. What the fuck?
I would be pissed.
Yeah, I'd want my money back.
Yes.
Fuck that.
I'm not getting an obscured view because I can't be man enough to handle this toxic waste smell coming from over here. That's just crazy. Like, come on, man. We got to believe it. Let's just believe it because it's funny.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it 100%. There's been 100 fucking reports of these shows stinking. People crop dusting their fucking BO all over the friggin' area. It's an open arena. So if it's that bad, you fucking suck. Because it's an open arena, so your aroma could just, dissipate. But no, it's clinging to you because it's bad.
And that brings me to the story, crazy story from this week, folks. Get liking and subscribing. That this AEW fan, holding up pro wrestling magazines and pictures, wearing pro wrestling t-shirts, seen at events in a picture with Tony Khan and Luchasaurus, which I was going to post, but I'm not going to post it. Everything's alleged, of course, court of law in a boxing ring type stuff, everybody. But allegedly, this fan of AEW, a sicko. You know, they call their fans the sickos. He must have been one of the top sickos because he was holding like multiple people in his basement captive, and he wouldn't allegedly wouldn't let they pooped and peed when he wanted. They ate when he wanted. I think he had a husband and wife down there, and also some girlfriends or people he was seeing. It's a crazy ass story. I know the sisters has been on social media telling people like, listen, you're spreading rumors and don't speculate, don't talk about this. It just makes it worse or whatever. But these are some crazy allegations that seem to be coming from somewhere, right? You don't just like make that type of stuff up if it's not happening, right? And have it catch on like this.
And he's probably one of the fans that stink. So he had these people in a basement with no windows with his stench. That's torture.
Man.
You're gross.
It's just
literally.
I can't believe some of these stories I'm hearing. And why wouldn't we believe this? Remember the story with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville? Remember the story with Liv Morgan just recently? That crazy haired man, all that thinning hair in the front. You knew he looked crazy just from that. And he shows up at Liv Morgan's place with a pellet gun or something. And then there was another one. Rhea Ripley has people showing up at her house.
Yeah, Asuka.
Yeah.
People are sick.
So watch out, AEW ladies. And especially those Japanese ladies, too. Like, you know, a lot of them creepers seem to be really into them.
In the report, too, they were allegedly saying he was forcing them to watch Dynamite and Collision. So I guess you can explain some of the weeks having a spike in ratings because he had, you know, forcing people to watch that crap. So
I hope the story is not true, but my goodness, he does got the Dahmer type look, and he's a pastor's son and all this. Come on.
Yeah, that was a perfect storm, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
Of a psychopath.
I remember a couple weeks ago I was talking about how I'm like I'd be horrified if somebody like was picked up in some weird for doing something weird and they had my shirt on or whatever in a picture and everybody's like sharing it around. That's what's happening to AEW right now. I just want to point that out. And then I go on TikTok. Who bans me from doing lives? We're too cool to do lives on TikTok, so fuck them. And I post a picture, the Luchasaurus Tony Khan thing, and I got people in my comments being like, is this some kind of gotcha? Are you trying to say that Tony and Luchasaurus? I'm like, of course not.
No.
Of course. Like, what are you talking about? Like, don't try to drag me into this stuff. I'm like, you know what? Come find out 3 p.m. Saturday.
Yeah.
Hope
bitch.
you're watching right now. Get retweeting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Idiot. They're all idiots.
But of course,
not our fans.
Right. Of course. But, you know, anything you write out here, you're positive about WWE, negative, you're negative. Well, you know what? When I'm negative about WWE, nobody says a fucking peep. They're just like, yup.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm negative about AEW for a second, and it's like, oh, man, you're the worst person in the world. How dare you, this and that. And it's like, wait, what? I've been goofing on WWE for like 10 years now, and I never had a problem. But anytime I bring up AEW, it's like this massive problem. Get over it.
Did you see the ratings thing this week?
No.
So they initially put out NXT did like 707, and then fucking AEW did like 638, right? So then, of course, Meltzer comes out and goes, oh, no, that's wrong. It was much lower. They were trying to say that he was trying to say that NXT did like a 517, which would have been like one of the lowest in history for that show. So then it's going back and forth all day yesterday. So it comes out, they said, yeah, there was something wrong with the Nielsen ratings and all this shit. And they said that, no, NXT's 707 number was correct, but Dynamite's number was actually lower. So then here comes Dave Meltzer, and he's like, well, you know, metrics and blah, 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 and we don't have the schematics and all this. But all the AEW people were, as soon as they saw the low rating, they're like, yeah, we're beating them again and fucking this and that. And then, of course, when the real thing comes out, oh, that's wrong. Dave Meltzer's God and Tony Khan.
Yep. And just to point out once again, I mean, the first, 40 minutes of this show, we've been goofing on WWE this whole time, saying how it's a shit, saying how I'm not buying any of their products anymore and all this stuff. So I don't want to hear like I'm some kind of shill or the sleaze. He just loves WWE because he grew up with it and you know, old, right? He is. All right.
I'm fucking old. Jesus.
Not as old as this guy.
Holy shit. Yeah, I look better than that.
I can't wait. 10 minutes or so. We got some Dabbleverse talk to go through, everybody. If you're listening on audio form, you better fucking stay tuned for this.
Yes.
Got clips, got pictures. We're going to teach you everything about the Dabbleverse with New Jersey Ranger. And
they need to have us in the Dabbleverse. We're spicing that shit up.
Yep. Be the wrestling brand. Look at this. And then we'll bring in the superstars like Jelly Roll. He performed at the Vatican.
Yeah.
Right?
I could see. He looks very holy.
The face of country music these days.
Yeah. Yep. He's got holy water coming out of his nostril into his mouth. God, that's so gross.
So yeah, we're paying more for jelly rolls and celebrities and just mediocre horse shit over there. That's why I'm gravitating towards the Dabbleverse, because the Dabbleverse, it's pro wrestling without the wrestling, of course.
Yeah.
And you know, there's so many works going on and people getting on each other. And listen, I'm not trying to be a Dabbleverse host. That is not happening. I'm not doing it like that. I understand some of these people in the Dabbleverse don't want to be in it. They try to call it the shitverse and they try to call it everything else. No, it's the Dabbleverse. That's what you're in. I'm in the Huge-inverse. Have always been in the Huge-inverse. I got my own shit going on. But I've been watching you people. I'm pretty much an expert at this now. Years and years invested. These are the only podcasts I kind of have time to listen to. And then I just work on this show. I make some of my music and I have lots of sex with hot women. All I do. So
you mean you don't sit in your basement with like 3 or 4 people that you have hostage
that I don't
shower?
Need. Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
right.
Shh. Don't talk about that.
Oh, no, I was thinking that's what I do.
Right. God, it makes me think of that guy years back, and I know this has happened in multiple countries as well, where you got this old guy and an old couple, where the old guy's been keeping like a 30 or 40-year-old woman in his shed for 20 years or something, and there's kids in there at this point, and there's wild stories like that all the time. I just can't believe we got one from an actual sicko, Sleaze.
Yeah, actual.
They call their fans sickos.
Yeah.
And then you got a sicko on your hands.
Yep. He's like King Sicko now. He represents them.
And what's up, Tyler? God. Yeah, TNA was on Thursday night for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works over on I think every other week. I never can keep up with it. So, yeah. I like TNA, though. I like what they're doing. They got involved with WWE, yada, yada. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole invasion thing was great. I want to see more shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
They show up in the crowd. You got fucking Zack Ryder. You get the freaking all these other people coming in. That was fantastic. Why can't they do this on the main roster?
They even messed it up in the early 2000s with WCW.
Yeah.
Yep.
So far, this invasion thing is working out good, knock on wood. Maybe we need Sean to come up to the main roster and switch out with Triple H. He said a couple weeks ago he wanted to come back. All right, go back. Have Sean run the main shit.
That would be something. I could never see Triple H giving the reins over to anybody else.
No.
He's kind of like he's in the family, so
yeah. That's a what if, a good what if.
Yeah. How about Corny? So listen, Corny, every few months, it's funny. I subscribe to his channel, right? And then one day I'll just get 15 clips in a row in my subscribe section. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, you're taking up everything.
Yeah.
So I can't deal with that. I can't deal. He's always got tons of ads. So there's like a YouTube ad will pop up, and then one of his ads will pop up where him and his hosts are talking. I'm just like, dude, I can't do this. So I'm listening for final time recently, and they're talking about Jimmy Kimmel, and of course, it's just so nuts when he talks politics. Over here, we talk politics. We don't like any of this. Okay,
Yeah.
Republican, Democrat, we don't like any of you. We get it. You see what's going on with all this, but he's very just no. Jimmy Kimmel, when he said Jimmy Kimmel, the reason why they got him off TV because he tells the truth.
Oh, come on.
Fuck this. So why am I listening to this? This is so stupid. And for somebody like Jim Cornette with a high wrestling IQ and all this should understand how works actually work. You don't see that that's all a work?
Yeah.
Really, Jim? Like how? How are you this? You're really in a cult then, huh?
Yeah.
And this goes for anybody that feels like, oh, our side, their side type shit, because that's how he goes. But when he was talking about Jimmy Kimmel, like, how dare he? I think that was all a work too, anyway. Like, Jimmy Kimmel, I think this was a great publicity stunt for the week because his ratings dipped right off again, like 75% the day after the show when he came back. So this was totally a publicity stunt. Blaming the FCC when it had nothing to do with the FCC. How did he come back so quick then? It's because Disney and Bob Iger, whatever his name is the one that suspended him indefinitely in the first place. So,
they didn't want to get sued, so they're going to play out his contract and then he's gone. They're going to deal with the shit ratings, which, I think within 3 days it was down 70%, which is not, it sounds bad, but it's worse than you think because on an average, he was doing about 130,000 per episode, which is abysmal. And I said it fucking last week. He's painfully unfunny. Should have been canceled years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I loved all these guys back in the day. In the 2000s, Jimmy Kimmel in the 2000s, great. Jimmy Fallon, the other guy, what's his name though? It's the SNL guy. Never cared for him. I like the Scottish guy or the UK guy, way better at that time slot.
Oh, what's his name? I forget. He was good. He was the only good one.
He was good, and Conan was my favorite, but then he went nuts like everybody else, but definitely not as nuts as Oliver, Colbert. Colbert was fucking hilarious in the 2000s. He was full on in the gimmick that he was a Republican conservative, and he acted like it, which was hilarious. Yeah. And then he just went way off the rails. And it's like, dude, you become what you hate.
Yeah. Just like when Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader.
Just like it.
You know? It's bad. And, going back to Cornette, like I listen to him religiously. And the reason I do is because he has really good takes on the actual wrestling. For the most part, he's not 100%. But God, when he gets into the political shit and the commercials that are dragged out, it gets to be much.
We got a last story here before we take a break and switch it up to the Dabbleverse. Huge inverse to the Dabbleverse. Bret Hart, again, he loves keeping himself in the news. He's going shows left and right. Come on here, Bret Hart. We would love to hear from you. Especially these days, Triple H, apparently we're not over with him enough for us to be signed to his podcast network. So maybe we'll have Bret Hart on and we'll ask him some Triple H questions. But I think we know some of them right now. He had said that he thinks Triple H is a phony. He said that he never earned or deserved his titles.
Okay.
He pretty much just married into the family business and then got to call all his shots. And I wish he was there when I KO'd Vince. He might not have gotten married to the boss's daughter. And the way I'm taking it is he's saying he wouldn't have done shit about it and come to his rescue, which means Vince wouldn't have allowed him to be with Steph.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Triple H like outside the door?
I don't really know.
I'd have to go back and watch the video, but I think he was there. And a lot of people, especially the younger crowd, they don't understand why Bret Hart hates Triple H because Triple H was a big part of the Montreal screw job. That's why he doesn't like him. And once Bret Hart doesn't like you for one reason, he shits on everything you do.
It's the shits.
Just because Goldberg kicked him in the head, now he hates everything about Goldberg.
I wonder if that was strategic by Triple H too, by having Bret Hart on stage with Stone Cold for the match, the Hall of Fame deal. You know, they're already Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
But he had him on stage and but he was like the focal point of that Hall of Fame class. So it was his way of getting him on the same stage as him, but as a secondary.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure Triple H has a lot of hidden pettiness. You know, obviously, because they're counteracting programming with AEW. You know, that's just the pettiness.
Mm.
It is a good business sense because you do that. You know, a Walmart used to open across the street from Kmart and put them out of business. That's what business is. But just like Vince, Triple H has some pettiness.
Oh yeah, remember the picture after CM Punk getting beat up in the UFC, and he's got the TV right over his shoulder, and he's the big smile on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the last take from Bret Hart about Triple H, of course, because he wasn't done there.
No.
Called him a slime ball. He was a slime ball in '97 specifically.
97.
That's when, you know, the game started, My Time song and all this. It was his time, Bret Hart. Were you mad, bro?
He's the king of kings.
Yeah, he's the game, the king of kings, a cerebral assassin. Were you just a cerebrally assassinated? Maybe. Yeah. Shut up, Braun Breaker. Going crazy as Braun Breaker downstairs.
Jesus.
Woofing at every person that comes to the door.
He's a badass.
Yeah. He's the unpredictable badass.
This is the animal edition of the Dr. Huge show. We had a cat fly across the laptop. There's dogs barking over there.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be fucking birds flying through the window soon.
All right, everybody, stay tuned. We're taking about a 5-minute break. I gotta take Braun Breaker out, and then we'll get right back to it with New Jersey Ranger talking Dabbleverse. You stay tuned and all that. See you in a minute. Testing.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, sounding great.
Great.
Great. Yep, everybody's here. Link has been sent, and we're about to get going. We're going to do our first dabbling. I almost called you Steve. Dabbling.
Dabbling Steve.
Please. Yeah.
He's my favorite.
But again, before New Jersey shows up with us, don't forget, we got a link tree over here. So you can find everything on the link tree. Come back, watch the video again. Hit the QR code, do it now, do whatever you want. I don't really give a shit. So there you have it. All the music that you hear, I made that. All the links there. I'll see it if you mention me, comment, like, and hit the buttons like everybody should be doing. Again, this is a warning, red bar style. I just want to make sure everybody knows that we're goofing around over here. There's nothing really serious happening. It's just goofs. So
funny, haha.
I don't really get into people's personal business. I don't really. But if you're gonna act foolish on the shows and things, you're gonna do this. You're gonna take this picture and think it's cool. Yeah, you might have to be goofed on for that.
I don't think it's cool.
You might have to be goofed on for looking like Charles Manson. He looks like Charles Manson there. Wow.
He really does. He really does.
Imagine with the tattoo right in the middle. You know the tattoo I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Can't speak of it.
Wingus McDingus.
Yeah, bean cheese.
Making me hungry, bro.
No shit.
Stop it. This picture's not making me hungry. Anyway, so this is really an introduction into the Dabbleverse. That's what's happening right now, okay? We're going to talk about the dabbler, the number one dabbler, Stuttering John. We're going to talk about Kevin Brennan, whom many of you may know of. He had a banger last night. Great show last night. MLC podcast. Shout out to you. You don't need to pay me. You don't need to do nothing. Right? He likes paying everybody. Don't do that.
You can pay me. You don't have to pay him.
Right. Pay everybody, but we don't like it. We don't think it's really necessary. Imagine this, Lee. So this Kevin Brennan, he does numbers. He does things. He's been funny before. Fire the link. I sent it. It's in the X messengers.
The X's. Fire it.
Check it out. I think I did already. Let's double check though.
Yeah.
You know how this goes, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes we say link failed or something, or message failed.
We've already had animals trying to fuck up the feed.
And it's showing that I didn't send it. What the?
Oh.
What?
Well, yeah.
Let's try that again.
There's a gremlin in there.
All right, we're doing it. We're doing it now.
We've done it.
I guess I have to click that other send button, huh?
Oh, the other send button.
Jeez. I was trying to do it while I was having another one. Have another one, Dr. Huge. I will. Grape juice. Welch's grape.
Yeah.
So you know me, Sleaze. I'm not much of a clip guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to work it into my repertoire, I guess. But it's we're gonna do it. We're gonna try it at least. I'm not used to watching other people on my show. This is my show, Sleaze.
We like watching ourselves because we're so vain.
And some people do that in the Dabbleverse. They'll watch themselves watching a show. It's fucking nuts. Oh, the range is here, but no screen. There he is on the screen.
There he is.
What's this? Holy shit. Do I have holy shit still?
What's up? Wait, let me get
CM Punk. Holy shit. My first Dabbleverser. Technically. I mean, I'm not going to say, I wouldn't offend you like that, New Jersey Ranger. You're a Dabbleverse, like, expert connoisseur, if you will. You're not like in it, and you wouldn't want to be in it. I don't want to be in it. I just want to make sure everybody knows. Sleaze doesn't want to be in it.
Nope.
Well, I would like if he got paid from it. That I'm here for, but to be, I get exactly what you're saying, Doc. Who wants to be tarred with that kind of brush?
Not me, but
I'll get tarred with it if they pay me.
Sure, that's equitable exchange.
Sleaze, you could never fill Stuttering John's shoes.
No.
just have that many people
bad.
hate you and pay you to hate you.
No.
Because that's his gimmick, and it's working out well for him, I guess. It doesn't really look like it's working out for him because, man, he's aged like 20 years in the past like year, hasn't he?
100%. He's not the stuttering John that you and I fell in love bullshitting in the chat of back in the that like the Dutch boy stuttering John. Like we don't have him anymore, or even mid-period soy sauce hair dye John. Now we got this.
He's looking just more he's looking older, bro. I get it. You're an older fella and things, but man, whew.
Yeah, but he looks unkept. I'm an older gentleman. I'm kept.
Yeah, no, not
Sleaze doesn't know. He knows a little bit about the Dabbleverse. Everybody that's watching generally, I would say, knows a little bit. They're not. I've mentioned it here and there, and people. Sure. I try to mention it to people in real life, and they look at me like, "Why are you still talking about this?" Within like 20 seconds, I'm like, "I'm not even done," and they're like, "I really don't care." Have you come across that?
Yeah. Okay. Granted, I'm from North Jersey. I'm in like I would say 90th at least. Oh, big up Wingus, my man. I'm in the 90th percentile at least of people who might know or give a fuck about at least some of the players who are tangentially related into the thing, because obviously Stern's from here, O&A from here. But yeah, I mean, the best way to, especially if you're going to talk to a woman, the best way to describe it is like, okay, this is our equivalent to Real Housewives and that kind of Bravo stuff. And you made a great point. The overlap between wrestling and this is like, it's very smart that you're trying to incorporate both of those things, because there's so much crossover that once you get over the hurdle of explaining as much of this stupid backlog of lore, like you can get a similar kind of enjoyment from this stuff.
And it really is good. And it's honestly, I think Stuttering John, what he does, and people have mentioned it in the past, it is high art, in my opinion. People were questioning it before. They're like, is he really this stupid? Remember those days 2 years ago? People were like, is he really this dumb? We don't know. Is this all a work? And just even being able to have people question what you're doing just because you're acting so insane is like, that's amazing to me. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I must watch. And I'll give you just a little bit of how I got into it. I knew about WAPT before a lot of, not the Stuttering John stuff, but in the early days. No. And of course I knew Stuttering John from Stern. I'm more of a Stern guy than an O&A guy. I know of all of them, but I was mainly a Stern guy. And when I seen how he was acting, I'm like, wow, he was really like that. Because, you think back in the old radio days, maybe he's putting on a character for the radio and things. And I'm like, wow, I think this is really him. So when he started getting in feuds with Kumia, started going on WAP, and I have a love-hate thing with WAPT and even TSN, where it's like I've subscribed, I've unsubscribed, because then I get worn out by stuff. Yeah. And I think the way that they go about it isn't always necessarily my cup of tea. Where it's the same reason I like Stern better than O&A, because Stern was more like when he would have mentally crazy people on his show, it wasn't like you're retarded, that's how O&A felt to me. It was more like you're a retard, ha ha ha, and Stern would have more fun with his people. So yeah, I mean, where were you as far as like knowing of this, coming in? How'd you even get into knowing this?
Yeah, okay. I think something that we bonded on earlier in Chaz watching specifically Stuttering John was that my entrance vector into all this crap is I was a Red Bar guy before all of this. Now, if you go far enough back, my mom would listen to Stern back in the day. I would hear some of it. It was like, okay, this is funny. At least the part that like whatever an 8-year-old could understand. But my initial vector into all this crap is through Brendan Schaub goofing on, and Red Bar that has covered various of these guys who are within the verse. And so, yeah, I would tend to agree that it's not always the WATP TSN. And the same thing is true of Steel Toe, although we're now getting in the weeds. Like, I'm more of a Frank Lucas, go straight to the source kind of guy. I don't necessarily need somebody to come down from Mount Olympus and explain to me what the dude that's chugging cores, then throwing the can off screen and you hear it not go into the trash can. Yeah, I don't need that. And we had many a good time watching Stuttering John on his stream and doing the cut up commentary ourselves. So we don't need it's like when back in the day in the Dark Ages, the priest was the only dude who could read in your little shitty medieval village. So whatever the religion was what the fuck he told you it was. But now we're not in the Dark Ages. We can read. We can figure the shit out for ourselves.
Yep. And I used to hate it when Shuli would be like, you gotta watch it through us. It's the only way you can watch it. And I'm like, no, it ain't. I'm having so much fun goofing on this guy by myself. And I can do it however I want. Like, you guys I feel maybe you go too far. Maybe you don't go far enough on stuff. You know, I'll make that decision. You understand, Sleaze? So don't ever fall for any of these traps out here.
I don't fall for that shit at all.
You come to our church and you watch it through our doctrine. And it's like, no. That's stupid. You know, when they start putting his mom, like I think Mike Morris was a guy that's on TSN, would put John's mom behind him and shit like that. And they'd be like, well, she's in the Dabbleverse. And it's like, is she though? Because he's stupid enough to bring her on stream. You know, she doesn't know what's going on.
No, 100%. And they often complain, to whatever degree, rightfully, about like Stuttering John has in his past been quite a doxing enthusiast. But like, okay, how are you going to call him out for that when you are, or for going after people's family in general? If it's not doxing, then in general shitting on people's wives and stuff like that. Then meanwhile, whole episode on Stuttering John's kid's gay, Stuttering John's kid's trans, Stuttering John's mom. It's like, okay, the dude gives you fucking cornucopia of shit to clown on. And you go to the lowest common denominator, hackiest shit to go after. Like, even what good thing or bad thing, classy, not. Like, this guy is damn near feeding you. People have, Kevin Brennan often brings up, whether it's a work, Stuttering John's return, whether he is in cahoots, if you will, with Shuli and them, because sometimes the shit is so on the nose and like clownish that you would be hard pressed not to think that he is doing this to feed them content. But if that's the case, why do you have to go for the low hanging fruit and for people who aren't even involved in this shit? Right.
Exactly. And to answer Wingus's question here, what is the Dabbleverse? We probably should explain that first and foremost. It's just a bunch of podcasts.
Yeah.
Really. Of all different types, I guess. I mean, we got random people out here. Like, again, we're not going to go too far out. We'll mention names. MKE, Mr. Kill Everything, everybody's favorite welding racist. So I got my own welder right here.
Who's not a racist? Not a racist.
All right. Perfect. But he does video game streams and shit like that, you know, like it's all over the place. But it's basically a group of podcasts. You know, the chatters are funny. That's why you'll see me. Generally, I'm strictly Stuttering John. I go to the source just like you. Stuttering John, Kevin Brennan, everybody else, I can watch through those guys.
Yeah.
Or just kind of find out, but not saying that they're terrible. I think Tukey being on MLC last night fucking killed it. That was hilarious. Lil KB, so much better than Tukey. Tukey's played out, bro. Like, we don't want Tukey anymore. I'm speaking for everybody. How about that?
Yeah, no, I get that. I think that Lil KB is a very interesting dynamic, and it's it's interesting for all the people who try to make it out that KB can't laugh at himself. Here he is literally laughing at himself. The dude is doing an impression of him. And he's loving it.
This was amazing. So on the bottom here, we got little KB, which is Tukey, the green puppet in the Dabbleverse, who again is just a character in this world, has podcasts and things. There's other characters that have potato filters and they wear masks in public. So, you know, they're being very like sneaky out here. But here's KB up in the top left. This is Felicia Gillespie on the right. She is a stand-up comedian that travels around and does comedy. And then we have Tukey on the bottom here. And let's hear what they have to say.
I can't hear him.
No, I can't hear him.
First of all, the laugh is he's got down. That's Kevin Brennan's laugh. That's Kevin Brennan's neck, kind of. I mean, it's a little crazier, but the puppet's neck, that's fucking out of this world. It looks like him, the cheeks. And then everything he says, but he's going to start going in on Felicia. Because again, like New Jersey Ranger pointed out, there's layers to this, folks. And the more you get involved, the more interesting it becomes and the more you know the players and things. And that's what we're showing you today. So let's.
There's no volume on the clip.
No volume. Yeah.
No volume.
No volume.
No volume. Shit. Yeah. So you let me play it that whole time with no volume?
I tried to pipe up.
Yeah.
Hold on. Why isn't it working? Why today?
Because we were doing so fucking good. That's why.
Oh, fuck it. We don't need clips. I don't even do clips, right, Kevin?
I don't do clips.
Yeah, that's 1 second. I'll give it one shot and then I'm giving up on it because I don't need it. We're better than that. How about now? Estes, let's try it one more time. No. Fuck. All right, fuck it. Anyway, that would have been a nice little thing to see, but go watch it on your own time out here. I got pictures. I'll show you some other players in the game.
There he is.
Anthony Cumia, everybody.
Hello, everyone. It's me, radio racist Anthony Cumia.
So, yeah, you're more of a Red Bar guy. That's how you found out about most of these people. That's the first place I heard about Patrick Melton was through Red Bar as well. And I didn't know about Red Bar until things started heating up with the Dabbleverse stuff. So a little before that, I would say towards the end of the goof era. And I was like, wow, this is pretty good. Again, he's another guy. I like his show and everything. I can't do it all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's the put on voice. Like, I love how he makes fun of Tony Hinchcliffe, but he sounds like Tony Hinchcliffe. Like, what? Just do your voice. You're Tony Hinchcliffe. So
it's so necessary. I know that I've joked with you, Doc, many a times about how big of a hack Rogan is and that whole whatever comedy fiefdom that I think now we're starting to be vindicated. I saw you guys cutting up a little bit on Jelly Roll. I love you, brother. It's so vindicating after years. And again, that's the other half of my backstory is that I'm a former it's a pain to say this, but I'm a former JRE listener. So it's not like I'm completely on the outside looking in like sour grapes at this. But yeah, once it became Joe's Boomer, like whatever I got on my Facebook feed is my politics. And at the same time, we're talking about the craft all the time. We're going to talk about comedy. It's like, all right, your boy is out. Like this is beyond what I'm interested in.
Nothing worse than that. And you could tell there's a lot of like stand-up comedians that are like, oh no, the future is kind of like doing this from home or whatever and just doing podcasts and stuff. And they got nothing because I guess they just sit there and write whenever they can, or maybe get input from probably co-writers and friends and things. And then they make a whole set and then they go and do it, but they're not actually funny people. You know what I mean?
No, and further, I talked about this not on my last show, I think the one before that if all these guys have a fucking podcast, when I watch Ray DeVito, who is another little star in our Dabbleverse, people in the chat will call out like, okay, Ray's riffing right now. Ray is workshopping a bit. This is not just like whatever the small time comedians. Fat Bert Kreischer. You see him when he's on Rogan, and it's like, okay, then why am I watching a Netflix special? Why am I seeing his ass in an arena when I know that half the shit at least is going to be stuff that we heard on any number of these podcasts?
And he's fat.
He's fat. He's fat. He likes to show that he's fat.
Exactly. Show his gut all the time. Show his shitty drawers. Like who thinks that's fight? Bert, you're 50, and not to like age shame anyone. You think by that age, hey, what's up, young old vibes? You think by that time, like again, I'm gonna be 30 next year. I don't think that it would be cool for me to take out my shitty drawers and show everyone.
That's not funny. It's not funny. Jesus Christ, what are we doing?
Unbelievable.
Show your tits, Bert.
Yeah, that's closer to funny.
Guy tits. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck.
Show them big boobies, and that's it. I don't remember any jokes he's had. I don't know nothing about the machine except it was a movie he was trying to put over based on a story he had, which is all manufactured. The guy's probably lying out his ass about everything. Because again, these stand-up comics are one way or another, even if they can kick some game here and speak a little bit or whatever and do podcasts and things. He got the high-pitched squeals. He's got the, you can just tell it's not, we're not dealing with Richard Pryor here. We're not dealing with Eddie Murphy and fucking like some real name, George Carlin and stuff. No. These guys are actually hack, in my professional opinion.
Well, Doc, remember back in our day, you could watch a set from like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, any of these people, George Carlin, and you could recite an entire set, basically. That's how funny it was and how good it was. I can't remember a fucking special from the last 10 years. I can't remember any second of that. They're painfully unfunny.
What Joe Rogan did to us into our podcast world and things, he really mucked up the waters with a lot of things. And I'll tell you what, I think Tony Hinchcliffe is obnoxious. I don't like his voice. I think he's fine. I'm not like a hater. I hate that he talks about wrestling and he goes on Joe Rogan and acts like he's the wrestling guy. And I hate that. But other than that, Kill Tony's cool. I like the idea and all this. Yeah. But I mean, you got like Andrew Schultz out here doing Madison Square Gardens and then the commercials with the dad. I seen that one Red Bar bit when he's like, then he brings his, F-word dad out there with him. Yeah, it's amazing. And if only I could say these words, New Jersey Ranger, I'd say all the words, every single word that there was in the book. But I don't
be like Gino.
Yeah. Well, not every other sentence. I do it for more shock. At like maybe once a show, I'll be like pussy farts or something. Other than that, I'm pretty tame. Because the Gino, he's another guy. Let's blame Anthony Cumia for this. Grandma Cumia, this is your fault. Gino's on you because you brought him into your compound media, which gave even more characters to the Dabbleverse after he was done with O&A. And yeah, that's why he's a pillar in this community, I guess.
100%. Compound Media, now that we're looking back on it, Compound Media was a jobs program for unemployed and unemployable racists. That's what it was. It was so Ant could play radio. He got shit canned from radio because of a certain incident in Times Square. And then he has these guys like Gino and these, again, Aaron Berg, I wouldn't necessarily say is Dabbleverse, but like all these hangers on. Chrissy Mayer, the present thief. Like we have to deal with
Chrissy. That's what I call her now.
you like her on Alex Stein with that Roseanne outfit that she was wearing. And yeah, he's responsible for all of this, and he continues to bear culpability in that he goes on TSN, he goes on WATP, and this is like his seal of approval on this stuff that like at times is passable. Most of the time it's stuttering John ate soup on stream, emergency show. Yeah, horsey mare. No, look, you
Ate
think I'm
soup.
joking, Sleaze? I swear to God. 3 weeks ago, he ate soup, and then I see a WATP thumbnail that's him eating soup, and the caption is "Stuttering John is going to die soon." And I'm looking at like, we're funny. Like this is supposed to be we're cutting up, right? You see him eating soup grossly on stream, and your takeaway is he's gonna die soon. Wow, this is high art.
It's just
Comedy
the
genius
thumbnail
right
they made
there.
that he like
Holy
threw a
shit.
fit about for like a month. They they had him like squinting and all red-eyed and like a guy from like Tiananmen Square or some shit, you know, like
it was Vietnam. They executed yes.
with a gun pointed at his head, and it's like, all right, that's a little overboard.
Yeah. Again, when he gives you so much that's like inbounds that you can again shit on him all day for, and you guys manage to find the couple of things that are like, oh well, that's not funny. It takes skill to what they say, it's like falling into a barrel of tits and coming up sucking your own thumb.
Yeah.
It's very much that kind of vibe.
It just reminded me, it's like Stuttering John actually made that funny. Every time you would show the thumbnail and start screaming about it, I would be dying laughing. I'm like, this is because it's just over the top, you know. Like, everything about this is so insane and so ridiculous. We haven't even, this is the tip of the iceberg, folks. There's so much more. How about there's a fellow that joins Kevin Brennan on MLC a lot, Chad Zumach. I was a regular in his chat pretty much all of 2024. It was when he was on that, what are they calling it?
The redemption arc.
And I was there for it, you know, and I didn't know much
too.
about him before when he supposedly did all these bad stuff. But, you know, in that time period, I'm kind of like, well, I wasn't watching when he was doing all the bad stuff. He's doing good stuff now. Or, you know, I wouldn't call it good stuff. I would call it, he was acting like an authentic human out here. And I was.
So what were the bad things he was doing? I'm intrigued. I don't know.
You might know even better than me in New Jersey, but I know that everybody credit cards.
Yeah. Okay. So the top line item would be that he stole a bunch of credit cards in 2020. And he used them to buy followers on Twitter, which is hilarious. He was accused. He I think got caught shoplifting. If you go further back, he stalked an ex of his. Yeah, exactly. So this is not like, but no, to Doc's point, I was in the same boat as him. We were watching him in 2024. I even defended his ass on Patrick Melton's show, where I told him that, like, okay, he did a show called Kumia's Cucks, which the theme is kind of evident. He would trash Kumia, and he would trash the whole kind of like hanger-on second order people that would be currying favor with him, ball watching him,
Gino,
what have you.
The other people you've spoken of.
Gino, Chrissy, Steel Toe, these guys who are also in the same universe. And I told Melton, like, you got to understand, Chad is an imperfect vessel for my hatred of Kumia and his cucks. And that's what it was to me. I was there to see, so even if it was like, if it's like watching a little kid like whiff a T-ball at like trying to make fun of this people, which sometimes it was. Like, all right, that's like finally somebody is covering this. But then that crashed and burned, as the doc knows, because of some very bum decisions on Chad's part.
So what do you think did it? I would say I just noticed pre-AC trip this year, they have this Atlantic City trip where the dabblers go out there. They probably don't even think of themselves as dabblers. You're all dabblers. You don't even know it. But you're all going out there. And you're all getting together. And New Jersey Ranger was at this year's AC event. And can you fill us in? What was that like? Because I know that they were supposed to have it in a comedy club, but I heard Chad was in charge of it. As I'm watching this in his redemption arc, he's coming up, right? But don't worry, he's about to come down in a second. Stay tuned. And he's, talking about how he's going to rent this place out, and he's got a guy and blah, blah, blah. Apparently, none of it comes to fruition. for
Yeah.
whatever reason. So Brendan wants no parts of this. He ends up having just people in hotel rooms. So were you all on the same floor? Now, please enlighten us.
Yes. Okay. So I was in KB's room. Chad was in a room with Win by 2 and a couple of other people until Chad weaseled his way into being in the room with KB. And my first on-camera appearance was that night when the great Shades Cal super chatted into KB. Hey KB, can we see some other people? Where's NJ Ranger? And I, to be honest with you, I had been before that. I've had a YouTube channel. I've done like the news that is whatever long form, like 40-minute, let's say, on a topic. Say that idiot Destiny when he did the Israel-Palestine debate on Lex Friedman, or the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, being such a clown, like that kind of thing. Very influenced by old school Jon Stewart. That when I was a kid and the Iraq War is happening and the New York Times is saying, actually, this is good. Like, I was confused as like an 8-10-year-old kid that like, okay, why this comedian on TV seems to be the only guy that has anything, like any question about this, but the supposed paper of record is like all for this. So that really resonated with me. I like doing that with a little bit of a laugh, but I wasn't, up until that point, I had only depicted myself on screen as like a feral hog wearing 3D glasses and smoking a blunt. And I was content to be that way. But then the cat was kind of out of the bag. Yeah, we were all in KB's room. We were having a great time. The show was supposed to be at a beer hall that was just reopening. And this was something that, like, we saw the holes in the plan leading up to it. And people were, myself included, we'll pat myself on the back, we were trying to call this shit out before it got to a point of no return, before it became the week of. And then we're going to blame it on the trolls, and we're going to blame it on this, and we're going to blame it on that. When meanwhile, this dude did zero work, zero prep work, and expected this shit to go off. And I remember he did a stream with Kevin Brennan, and I used my membership milestone to be like, KB has to speak to the manager. This has gotten out of hand, and it's because there's zero work or forethought put into this. And this guy has the balls to be like, well, you're not going anyway. It's like, okay, bro, it's an event that's happening in the same state in which I live and I am named after. Like, what are the odds? Like, how can you just a priori? And it's the show that I watch every day. It's an event for that. So, like, how are you so sure that I'm not going to? And even if I wasn't going to be there, how the fuck are you? Okay, you're not going to be there. That means it's a perfectly planned event. So, yeah, Doc, you're right. I think, though, that the Chad redemption arc started to go off the rails with the Stuttering John Patreon thing.
100%. I mean, when I first heard of that, I didn't know before he did it. I heard after the fact.
Yep.
And I was just like, you really thought you would get away with something like that as your thumbnail? What was the actual thumbnail? You don't have to,
It was Stutter.
Yeah, what is it? What is all this Patreon stuff?
Chad decided because Stuttering John called one of his gigs or something in Florida, whatever. I don't know if he got it canceled. I can't quite remember. But then Chad saw fit to name and thumbnail his episode of the show Kumi's Cucks. Stuttering John, for all his faults, is at least whatever now in the Dabbleverse time period, is an anti-Kumia guy. He
Pocky.
is one of the most, hey, Pocky, you racist anti-Semite. So, like, yeah, whatever you could say about Stuttering John, like, he is not one of the cucks. So that, like, we see the mission creep of his show starting to happen. He names the episode Stuttering John's Daughter Has a Dick.
Oh,
classy and very
good.
comedy based. And then this guy whines that, oh, my Patreon got taken down, and then he's on MLC saying, you guys should have stopped me. And then meanwhile, your boy raises his hand and says, yeah, Chad, I DM'd you the moment that I saw that thumbnail saying, hey, Chad, just one man's opinion, but like, don't go with that thumbnail. You legitimize his grievances against you and you can get in trouble. And this guy says that, oh, no, actually, yeah, I'm going to do it because he's been sticking it to me and like whatever. And that worked out in him losing a Patreon and complaining about it profusely. Yeah. And he dared to say, first of all, nobody stopped me. Not true. And then second of all, when I was like, oh, Chad, actually, I did. I don't know about anybody else. He's like, oh, well, I get so many DMs that it's hard to. It's like, okay, you get so many DMs. Then why did you respond to me within like 10 minutes of getting that shit before you went on air? It just doesn't pass the sniff test. But that was a start. And AC was like the explosion. The redemption arc was nowhere to be found after that.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
It was done. After AC, he was just like, he was miserable too.
Yeah.
So even somebody like me, I'm not going on these shows and doing all the super chats, and I'm just hanging out in the chat. I'm usually doing other computer work and things I got to get done. And then I'll like, if I see something that like gets me, I'll go over to the chat or what have you. But I'm in his chat for a year. I send little chats, super chats here and there, whatever, and memberships, whatnot. And I remember I was just asking him a few times, hey, you want to follow me back on Twitter? Who knows? Maybe we can do something together or whatever. I'm pretty good at this shit. I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm not just doing it for nothing like some of you guys. And he just goes, I don't know you. On his show, I don't know you.
Oh.
Like kind of like that. I'm like, he doesn't know me. Imagine me like HVAC or anybody in the chat that I've seen like every week for the past year. I go, I don't even know who you are, bro. And you've given me money and shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Dicks.
So big timing over this stuff. When meanwhile, I'm a big fan of the exact opposite of this. I really appreciate you having me on because it's like, okay, this is somebody that I'm boys with from watching these shows. And then we get an opportunity to talk about that, and me in whatever small way I can help out with this crap. I love that. It's the anti-crabs in a barrel thing. Imagine being on the low, like we're not close to Joe Rogan, like we're not close to these stupid call me daddy or whatever the fuck. Like, why should we then spend our time fighting and not doing anything to build on that? But yeah, no, Chad has to have that sense of superiority because otherwise, like if he can't pull rank on us nobodies, and he can't pull rank on anyone. So he's got to exercise that at every opportunity.
Yeah. And it's like, sure, I'm a nobody in the Dabbleverse. Who gives a fuck? But what if you come across somebody that's somebody somewhere else, which I am. So
well, we talked about this before too, Doc, where it's a different landscape. When we started this 10 years ago, everybody wanted to help everybody. Now everybody is so fucking self-serving and selfish.
The goof again. I think it's really that period. Just everybody went nuts. And before that, it was so easy. I was just looking through my old Instagram the other day. And remember Sleaze? I was going Monday night, here's the guest. And Tuesday, and I was doing full week breakdowns of who was coming on. Now I send out 20, 50 emails and DMs, and literally the only people that got back to me, Clay Dabbler and New Jersey Ranger. The only people. Yeah. And Clay's like, I just can't do it because I think he's he's doing his thing with Stuttering John, another character in the Dabbleverse that goes on shows, masked up, everything. But I get it, Clay. He seems like a cool guy. He gets it,
Yeah. But at least he got back to you, unlike a lot of people.
Fine. That's all you need to do, but to try to big time anybody, that's next level, like goofball stuff, especially when you're like some of these guys out here. I haven't even brought up Ray DeVito yet. You guys don't even know what a Ray DeVito is. You have no idea. He is possibly, I don't know. Who do you think is the dumbest in this whole like Dabbleverse? Because Stuttering John's up there, but he's plays into it a touch. I don't know if Ray's playing into it even a touch.
Yeah, well, again, you have KB's take on this. That is Ray DeVito. It's like a double feint. That Ray is a dumb guy acting like a dumb guy. So there's that sort of layered element to it. I don't know. Chad is a notoriously terrible reader, but that's also again, we know Bob Levy also is a terrible reader. Like reading proficiency, I think somebody could make a killing teaching these guys how to read just so that they can read through a super chat. Would be like yeah, you Sleaze, I swear to God, you think we're joking about this. It's worse than you think.
I gotta get in these chats. I think I'm wasting my time not doing this.
Because
Holy
it's a
shit.
combo of intentional funny and then unintentional. Stuttering John is a great mix of both. We laugh. Doc and I, one of his nicknames for Chad is Baby Fatso.
Oh, I love Baby Fatso.
so we'll just be we'll be in chat and I'll see him do Baby Fatso and then the
blue emoji face.
Blue YouTube emoji that's going like Baby Fatso. So yeah, no, Ray is Ray's slow, but Ray also has an MBA that he has referred to as an NBA at various times before. So it's hard to determine. A lot of dumb motherfuckers in this corner of
You get back
even
to
with
Gino
all their
real quick. I never
NBAs.
even really finished up on Gino. So Gino comes from Kumia, Compound Media, and all this. Just I guess he's racist. You know, my level of racism is like more action than words. You know, so like he can say words that are racist, but does that really make him like a real racist? I don't know, because he says it so much. It's so fucking hack. It's just like the Sleaze. I pointed this out in one of the chats days ago. It feels like everybody ignores me, but I think they're seeing what I'm saying. They just, you know, I think people are leery of me in some places, but it's like the white people in general, and you know this, the N-word pops them, and acting Asian, like, oh yeah, like white people love that shit every time it pops them. Even Brendan was doing it last night. And I'm laughing to myself. I'm like, I'm nailing this right now. So yeah.
If I'm at work and I want people to get away from me, I start doing an Asian accent. And they disperse.
But yeah, so
quickly.
It's just that's the type of humor level that they're on. And I get that it's funny, but again, it's like, you know, saying cream pie every once in a while, like trying to shock everybody, wake them up, you know. But to do it every other word is kind of that's fucking.
You're 100% right. And the thing that I've said about Gino, and look, it applies to Rogan too. Rogan took a 6-year break and then came out with Burn the Boats. I watched it when I was in Greece with my boy and my girl cousin, who is not a Rogan-verse or Dabbleverse, whatever person. George, my homie, he is familiar with Joe Rogan and that kind of stuff, fine, but not at the level that we are watching detractor stuff. And it's like an hour and 15 minutes. Okay. He does the first, did you assume my gender joke at like the 17-minute mark. And by the 20-minute mark, they're like, okay, why are we watching this? And it was very vindicating because that told me their cope, these guys cope, Gino, Joe Rogan, is that, okay, you don't like this because you're woke. And it's like, okay, you put this in front of normal people without any political agenda for or against. They just don't think this is funny. And when it comes to Gino, whether it's the N-word stuff or specifically Gino's hobby horse, COVID, is like, okay, regardless of how you feel about the politics of that thing, we're 5 years later, fellas. Like, good, bad, or indifferent, has nothing fucking happened in the 5 years that you as a comedian could kind of craft into some material? Like, apparently not.
Yeah, he's stuck in the year 2020 for life.
Exactly right.
It's just on talent. It's just no
I'll tell you
talent.
this.
If you can't think of like anything going on in your world right now that's funny, and you have to gravitate to shit 5-10 years ago,
I'll
you're
give
not
him
funny.
this though. You know, Gene, of course, we don't hate any of these people. They feel like wrestling characters to me. Again, this is just exactly what we do with wrestling characters. And of course, they're off stage names and whatever. I don't care about their personal lives. I don't care what they're doing with that. Unless you're going to bring it to me, then I'll care a little bit, because now it's like it's a part of the show. Unless you're like Stuttering John's mom coming in giving him a beer because he's like, "Ma, beer, ma," you know, like that's just ridiculous. Yeah. But I mean, these guys, they could so easily step their game up a little bit. Imagine if they tried like us. Like, I know you're trying. We try. We're trying. These guys will come on. Things will be fucked up. They'll take breaks in the middle of the show. Like, they'll just go, "I'll be right back," and you'll never know when they're coming back. It could be 5 minutes, could be 40 minutes. Stuttering John left to talk to his lawyer for like an hour while his live was going in a blank screen. It's like the amount of care that a lot of these guys put into supposedly their craft. It's like very minimal. And that also angers me, because I got like 230 something subscribers. Are you fucking kidding me? With all the stuff that I do and all the stuff that I've been putting out in the past year. Come on.
We need to start getting up during the show and just fucking leaving.
Just disrespect what we need to do. Chat, leave their viewers hanging. Like all this stuff. They do all that and they get more viewers.
Yeah, and then they wonder.
Yep. I'm going to start talking about Israel and Hamas. And
they wonder then why people like us go to do our thing. And it's like, okay, what's the quote about God made man, Sam Colt made man equal? That's for whatever and again, recently there's been a lot of talk about that scandal with like liberal YouTubers and influencers being paid off by like a Democrat shadow money thing, including David Pakman, who I can't stand. And I've been very down on him for a long ass time. But like, okay, sure, there's still ways to get payola and stuff like that. And like, I'm not saying that the monetary like influence is like totally different to TV, but you or us, we could not just walk in and get on NBC to get a slot on NBC tonight. You can do that on YouTube. So there is a more democratic element of that we can each like try our best to do stuff. And when you are not providing to our sensibilities, then don't be surprised when somebody shows up and tries to put a little bit more work in and be the change they wish to see in the world.
Yep, that's really
right. You're making way too much sense.
That's why
it's foolish.
We've been cool in the chat, because everything he pretty much writes in the chat and send the super chats in, I'm like, yep, pretty much what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So
he gets it.
Right.
And the Sleaze were talking even before this about how, like, I think what's happening, especially with how the Dabbleverse works and the key players and things, it's really all about brand recognition. So if we can get the brands out there that we're pushing, we'll eventually catch up. They're slowing down. These motherfuckers are old as fuck. You know what I mean? They're slowing down. We're catching up. So they really should be trying to at least be like some sort of a mentor or a, hey, I'm willing to work with you because I don't just see you as some nobody because you're a future somebody type deal. And yeah, you can't take it with you when you go. That's the thing. And to have this sort of short-sightedness in some of my favorite KB is him beefing, quote unquote, with Mr. Beast. He does it because KB was for a while the number one most super chatted comedy show in America. And that's why he has the foam finger that says number one. Mm-hmm. And then somebody is chiming in trying to tell him about Mr. Beast, that like there's levels to this shit. KB, who is in his 60s, does not know who Mr. Beast is, and so I don't know who the hell he is. Show me his 1099. And like, okay, that's
that's the positive side of that. There's some humor from that, but the negative side of that coin is these guys unironically think that they're the Ozymandias wept for he saw no more worlds left to conquer kind of thing. And it's like, okay, we're in a niche portion of YouTube. Why you would want to spend your time big dogging and elbowing people out, it could never be me.
Especially when you act like you don't want to be in it.
And
it's like none of this makes any sense. You know, it just, to me, it just feels like one big grift from a lot of people. Again, they're not like, first of all, you're not trying, you just want money. Come on, there's got to be more than that, bro. Like, actually do a show, you know?
Yeah, then I get why people pay the money. That's, again, equitable exchange. But if you're just phoning it in, if you're Chad, if you're going to go through your Rolodex and you're going to call Godfrey and you're going to call Nick Swartzen and you're going to call Sam Tripoli, like, is that a show?
Chad mostly on this show.
Southern John gets a reprieve from us.
You know, because we gave him a chance. I think that's why it's not like, oh, he's like, oh, I got all these scorned lovers out here and things. It's like, no. It's like, we thought you were kind of like one of us, right? The baby, you were a baby face, and then you turned heel, and we don't like it.
And that's what's supposed to happen. Like, don't be shocked when you do that and that happens. That's action reaction kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And also, I would never even think to do that because that's not the type of show I'm doing. Like, this is it. What you see is what you get, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, there's no me turning heel, turning face, like redemption arcs. I'm just a good guy overall. That's all. That's all, folks. We're here to laugh at everybody else.
When me and the Doc got together, you know, over 10 years ago now, and had this whole idea, it was because there was so much bad shit out there, you know, and we said we're not going to do that. And we try every time to come on this show and do something that's the opposite of the crap that's out.
And it's hard to get over,
you know.
Let me tell you, like, even on social media and stuff, everything's pay to play now. Have you noticed that? You can't do shit now without paying somebody $30 to $50 a month. You know, like my music, the show, the this and that. It's like everybody wants to be a middleman. And it's like, I'm not even making money from this. You know, I'm still trying to get monetized. That's why I'm always like, subscribe and like and all that horse shit. Come over to the YouTube. I get a lot of Twitter people and X people, but it's like pulling teeth getting them over here. So, and I even hear these other guys like Chad and others in the Dabbleverse that are saying the same thing. Come on over, please come over to the YouTube. And it's just like, well, why aren't we working? Like, we just work together. It's like, imagine being a baseball team in a league where you're the only team. What are you going to do? Like, throw the ball up and hit it yourself?
Yeah. No, that's the vibe. They would rather be, and I get on whatever level, you want to be your own boss, that's fine, whatever. And I get that, like, say, with Carl and WATP, that's a show that has zero dissent on it. That Carl has said before, I think I mentioned this on my last show, Carl's words when he was, like, forced to deal with this from a super chat or something, that the disagreement doesn't make for good radio. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, we all fondly remember those days where Jackie and Howard and Robin all got along and nobody disagreed with it. It's like, is this from a different reality? And there's a big hug box element, but yeah, the crabs in a barrel thing, I don't get that. Maybe it's my idealism that I'm remembering a different time on the internet that you guys are referencing, when it was less every man for themselves and more like, okay, we're in the same boat, let's paddle together. But
there was a camaraderie. You know, we used to get together with other podcasts and they'd share us, we'd share them. Doc went on their show, they came on our show. Like, even when there's none of that now.
Diamond Dallas Page on the show. James Ellsworth, the guy with no chin years ago, that was like the man for a year in wrestling just because of the way he looked. I got him the first week. He popped one night. I called him sent him a message the next day, comes on. bunch of random like famous wrestlers, old school legendary wrestlers. The Prince of Darkness was like a regular on our show. Of course, he had to go and die. Like Roddy Piper would have been on our show. I have connections to all this stuff and a lot of different like types of people and things. But back then, I would have indie wrestlers going like, "Please, can I come on?" Like literally like begging me to come on the show some weeks. And I'm like, this is kind of crazy. Again, I would fill out weeks on end booking. Now people won't even return. I don't know what it is. I still have numbers as far as social media and stuff. People tend to see that. I know this because this is how kids work. Little kids. If you can impress little kids and they go, oh, wow, you got a lot of followers, you're doing all right. That's what everybody's pretty much thinking out here, which your follower count and all that doesn't mean shit because people can cheat.
Yeah,
all the stuff, everything I'm doing, super organic. This is what it is. You know, it says 7 right now watching on YouTube. That's fucking insane to me. It should be so much higher than that, but we're going to do it. We're going to pull it off one of these days. I'll just look at my X numbers. I'll feel a little bit better about it. It's like to juggle all this stuff, get all these platforms going. It just seems like such a scam in a way.
Yeah, and you're right that again, it might feel more strenuous doing it the organic way. We know people in our little circle of the Dabbleverse who have completely inorganic growth. Chrissy Mayer, when new star of the Dabbleverse Carmax was defending the legitimacy of her numbers because it also brought into question his numbers. He has 6,000 something subscribers and has whatever, like 200 max, let's say, on the best day if he doesn't have a guest. So that's like a little fishy. Chrissy Mayer had Mario Bosco on. It was like an hour in, she has 50 fucking people watching. Again, I have a channel that a couple weeks ago, we broke 300 subs. It was like 50 to 80 people watching my 4-hour bullshit. Okay, you know that something is fishy here, because if I had more than 100,000 subs,
you'd be bigger than Joe Rogan.
That's what I'm saying. There's 30,000 people fucking watching me. So we can be safe to say that that's not actually the case. Well, you guys, again, at least you didn't do the easy way out of just, I'll buy views, I'll buy subs. That has in a world that cares so much about numbers, I can understand why somebody would do that, but it could never be me. And it's refreshing to see people who it didn't cross their mind, that bad route.
Yeah, we're big on not doing that. None of those cheap little parlor tricks that get you numbers and all. We've said since day one. That's not us.
Like it's like using Game Genie and getting to the final level, but then it doesn't mean you're good. So say you do bring people in to watch your show because they see that your numbers are high and you stink. I'm Mr. T in the basement right now doing fucking curls all day, calling Rocky Balboa's out. And they're all big time and oh no, I got the title. Oh, do ya? I'm catching you. I'll be there soon, bro. You better be fucking waiting.
Yeah.
I'll wait. That's another Stuttering John, right? Classic line. My goodness.
There's
so much.
There's that tattoo again.
We better call it quits here. Shuli Egar, TSN.
Oh, there he is.
We got Lady Kmart over here and his mom wife. Mandolin. This is my favorite picture of him ever. Not with the Santa hat necessarily, but I couldn't find the other one. But this picture here.
A very Carl Christmas.
Oh man. We got to get the clips working next time. It worked every week up until now for the past year since I've come back. I took a nice little 5-year break in between my podcast career. So we've been getting it going this past year again. I think the show's like 10 times better this time, especially now that we get the restreams and things going. Oh my God, so much easier. But I was getting super chats before super chats. How about that? New Jersey. I'm not big time in you right now. I'm just letting you know what you're dealing with here, though. Sure, the numbers may look a little low and stuff, but don't worry. We're gonna catch up. I was getting close to 700, 750. I was doing more than CarMax in 2017. Take that, CarMax.
Oh geez.
Periscope.
Oh fucking geez.
We were killing it on Periscope.
Goddamn right.
Us on there, and then of course they shut it down. They turned it into X, and now they got me paying to go live on X. I got it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for coming on, New Jersey.
Full circle.
I'll see you in the chats out there. We'll have you on again. Maybe we can do like a monthly thing or something where
I love that.
Catch up because there's so much more, folks, and I know you're gonna be here. Want to come watch this shit is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, Sleaze, you got any plugs for us?
On all social medias at the SLZ52. Check me out. I got a barcode somewhere.
New Jersey Ranger, of
right
course.
there.
I know you got the channel pumping up right now. Tons of viewers last couple weeks.
You were getting a tremendous amount of viewers. Nobody's seen anything like it. Okay, folks. Yeah, I'm at NJRanger201 on everything, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Steam. If you want to add me on Steam, I'm still NJRanger201. Add me, bro.
I'm on Steam. I'll check you out.
We'll maybe get some gaming going in the future and stuff. I know that Michael Myers game is coming soon.
Yeah.
100% getting that.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yep, I got some horror shows lined up. I got a vast comic book collection. I may do some shows with that. I know people in the comic book communities are into that thing. So we're just adding communities onto this. We're stacking it, bro. The pro wrestling, kind of getting sick of it. They kind of smell too, especially these days. Yeah, we did a whole segment on that.
It's like hot dog water.
Like eating fish at a strip club. You know what I mean? That type of smell.
Ugh.
Yeah,
like the bottom of a tuna can.
Again, thank you for joining us. And anytime you need me, bro, I would love to talk more Dabbleverse. I love Dabbleverse stuff. That's my thing for some reason. That's pretty much the only entertainment I kind of consume these days. Everything else, I'm always busy. But then when I have time to listen to something, I'm checking it.
Listen, you guys both send me links. I'll jump right in.
Hey, look,
I'm
intrigued for having
intrigued.
me, Doc. Thank you for having me, Sleaze. It was awesome to finally be able to not only catch one live that's not playing in my back pocket as I'm doing other shit, but to actually come on with you guys was great.
Awesome, man. We will talk to you later, bro. And everybody out there, don't forget, like, subscribe, go follow New Jersey, go follow the Sleaze over here, and we will talk to you later. Peace out.
And I know that you